morning, friends. Mark Holmes, of course, here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. Somehow I'm off center here. The desk is off center, or something's not right, because I'm in center, but that's off. But I'm not going to worry about it. You know, this is broke-ass media, and things are never right. So the Cowboys, it's hump day. It's the middle of the week. We did our Trolling Tuesday video last night where we were checking around the NFC East, seeing the pulse of everybody. Later today, I'll be with Rio and see what he has to say about his Washington football team. But I think he is actually already working on the draft. I'm like, dude, it's only week 6. He's like, dude, we ain't got no hope whatsoever. He's like, my team is just bad. Well, we're not focused on the draft, at least not here with the Dallas Cowboys. We are knee deep in the middle of a season. And the thing that's funny, I've got a lot of great fans and stuff, and I don't always agree with everybody's take on the Cowboys. Kevin Milton has been talking about Dak Prescott's a garbage ass, quarterback for years. And in fact, he's been in Facebook wars with my buddy Philip Ebarb, Dak's uncle. Literally, I'll post a video in Facebook, and immediately he'll start the Dak Prescott memes and stuff. Well, it looks like Kevin Milton actually has egg on his face because, I don't see any garbage time here. Well, unless you talk about playing the Giants, which their team is garbage. So I guess you could say that that's garbage time. But Dak is playing on a whole nother level. This team right now is playing on a whole nother level. Hopefully this continues to happen and go through. But no matter what happens, and the Cowboys right now have the number 2 defense at taking away the football. They have the number 5 run-stopping defense. Now, they're 31st against the pass, but there's a couple of reasons for this. One, because the team has gotten better at stopping the run, and 2, because the Dallas Cowboys offense is so good at scoring, teams become one-dimensional. They're putting all of their efforts into passing the football because they're trying to keep up. So that's where it kind of skews the number some. You look at that and say, oh, it's a great run-stopping defense. They're not trying to run the ball. They can't. They have to pass the football. And they say, oh, well, your secondary is garbage. No, they're not. You get 12 takeaways in the first 5 games, including Diggs with 6. Diggs has more takeaways than 27 teams. That's right. That defense is actually becoming really, really good, and they still don't have all of the pieces yet. And so, you look at this and say, from where we were last year with the dazed and confused defense to where we are right now, we are 180% better and headed in the right direction. But my man, Abe Shepard, and Abe, I don't mean to put you on blast. Abe is like a pit bull with a bone. When he's got a hold of that thing, he don't let it go. He don't let it go. And last week before the game, he was on Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown's trash. The Cowboys, you need to replace Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown's going to cost us a game. And he's like, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to tell you, when he messes up. It's like, okay. And my thing is this. Currently, the Cowboys don't have a better option, first of all, because Nashawn Wright doesn't have enough experience. Kevin Joseph has had some injury issues along with COVID over the summer. He's not ready. And Anthony Brown, who now has 2 interceptions on the year, almost had 3, one being a pick 6, actually has the same amount of interceptions this year that Byron Jones had in his whole career. And you have to understand that people are throwing now away from Diggs and throwing more his way. So he's getting the lion's share of the work. He is, deemed the lesser of 2 evils. So I want to go through it, and there's a nice article in Blogging the Boys by Richard Rodriguez, and I want to make sure I give people credit for the work and stuff they do. Abe, this one is for you this morning, Okay, forgive me, I'm not the best of reading out loud, but let me give a whack at it. During training camp, I wrote that Anthony Brown's job may no longer be safe. We all said that, by the way. While versatility has kept him on the roster longer than any of his teammates in the secondary, the rivals of players like Kevin Joseph, Nahshon Wright, as well as veterans Morris Cady, seem to bring in doubt Brown's future with the team. There are some developments that work in his favor, of course, with Kellen Joseph suffering a hamstring injury that landed him on short-term IR, and Wright needing a bit more seasoning before potentially pressing Brown snaps. Kaladi also has not translated his amazing camp into a real game action. Week 1 was brutal for Brown, being targeted repeatedly by Tom Brady and Antonio Brown as the Buccaneers pulled out a 31-29 win over the Dallas Cowboys in the season opener. Despite the hot takes and snap judgments from Cowboys Nations, Cowboys coach Dan Quinn and Executive Vice President Stephen Jones insisted Brown had played well in the loss, having suffered a couple of unfortunate breaks during the course of the game. Given Brown's history of inconsistency, it sounded more like an excuse. Flash forward to today. However, and the Cowboys are 4-1, Diggs is the talk of the town with 6 interceptions in 5 games, but overlooked in everything has been Brown's play. In the Cowboys' 44-20 trashing of the Giants Sunday afternoon, Brown capped off the game with a pick 6. In his second interception of the season, and if it were not for a dropped interception against Sam Darnold on 3rd and 8 the prior week, it would have made for 3 consecutive games with the pick, the best stretch of his career. Sure, moments after the dropped interception versus Carolina's scorched Brown for a huge game that kept Carolina's comeback hopes alive, but overall, Brown has played very good football in recent weeks. His 3 passes defended against the Panthers are another against New York, along with the pick 6, and while having seeing some added looks due to Diggs' sensational play, unfortunately for Brown, that won't be changing anytime soon. So, yeah, I'm not saying that he's, Darrelle Revis and Revis Island, but after that first game in Tampa Bay, boy's been playing pretty good. He's getting better, and he's getting takeaways. And as much as we look at this and we think that, we're going to have a Pro Bowl player at every position and every level, it don't work that way in the NFL. I'm sorry to tell you that. It just does not work that way. As much as you'd like to have the best of the best of the best, there's going to be positions where you have lesser talent. You only have so much room money-wise to be able to get so much talent. And, as much as people want to say, get rid of him, bring in, Nahshon Wright, you may see Nahshon Wright really get picked on even more and wilt under the pressure of not having that experience. So, Abe, just be cool. Just be cool. Now, a couple other things that are kind of cool. Jason Garrett. Oh, man. You don't think Jason Garrett misses being with the Cowboys right now after dealing with the whole Giants situation? Jason Garrett to Kellen Moore. This is great right here from John Machado. Jason Garrett to Kellen Moore after Sunday's game. Hey, way to go. You fucking dominated. Hell of a job. I miss you. You're doing a great job. Keep doing it. Dude is the Cowboys with Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator, as much as, people don't believe in him, dude has been incredible. And so I'm going to end this morning with a shot from NFL Total Access. It's amazing now, after, the talking heads, the Dan Orlovskis, and the David Carrs and stuff talking about Dak Prescott is a bum.
Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint. And I probably am guilty of this. Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint.
Now they seem to be getting on the Dak Prescott bandwagon.
All right, then. Listen, the Cowboys are getting it done.
Yes.
4-1 to start the year. No questions here about whether or not they're the best team in that division. The answer is yes. But, David, why should everyone else be afraid of Dallas?
Well, because they can do everything. I think that's the issue that you find yourself in when you're facing
What?
this. You don't really know how they're going to attack you, whether it be against the Bucs or what they did last night. This is an exo of what they basically do. So this is a featured run that they showed 4 or 5 times, but they hadn't shown it all year. So they pull the guard in the center outside. They kind of exchange responsibilities as such, and they get the ball in the perimeter. So this right here happens to be Pollard, but Zeke scored a touchdown on that same play. And then also on third down, a lot of guys would just take this underneath throw. But Dak has the mindset now. He sees one-on-one with CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to give this big guy a chance. And he puts the ball up in a great position, perfect ball placement. CeeDee runs away from coverage. So
Beautiful.
even in, like,
Oh, my
attack
God.
mode, you know, they don't have to throw for 500 yards and still move the football because of those plays. And then on the defensive side, this is amazing to me. This is what's scary about their defense is Trayvon Diggs right here is in man-to-man coverage. And, Will, you made this point earlier. He catches up to the ball better than the receiver does when it's in the air. He does that on that play, knocks it down, could have been an interception. This is another one, a shot down the field. He's not in great position here, but as soon as the ball goes up in the air, this is from him being a receiver and maybe from his brother being a receiver. They just have that in them, that innate ability to go get the football when it's up in the air. So you got a great offense.
Love them Cowboys.
You know, they can beat you with the pass game. They can beat you on the ground. And then they have a defense that, opposed to the Chiefs that we talked about, is taking the ball away. You don't have to be a great defense or a top 10 defense, but if you're opportunistic and you take the football away from the other team and you give your good offense a short field, you got a great football team.
Yeah, when
You
you're talking
do.
about or to the rest of the league, I would say be afraid. Be very afraid because America team is back.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost their opener, right, to Tampa Bay, the champs, right? 31-29, and that's Dak's first game back, right? And he was, I don't know if he was playing gingerly or, you know, worried. Dan Quinn's first game as a defensive coordinator. Since then, and they played well in that game, since then they've won 4, and they're very convincing right now. I love their balance. You mentioned that, David. They can throw the ball. They're very explosive, skilled guys all over the place. But the run game, I love the run game. They're second in rushing in the National Football League. And you know what? Zeke is back. He's averaging 5.3 yards per carry. That's the most in his career. I mean, when you have that kind of balance, and you can play smash mouth if you want to finish a game, and you can throw the ball explosively like we've seen. Willie, I mean, this is a tough team to beat.
It's game plan specific, and that's what I love about Kellen Moore now. He's not just doing whatever we see every single week.
Right.
It changes up according to the defense that he's playing against, and he attacks their weaknesses. Against the Bucs, he didn't run the ball. Oh, what happened to the run game? Well, that wasn't the game plan for that week. We're going to throw the ball on the outside, get it out quick, and attack certain people. And then we see Zeke and Pollard, and we see all the different mismatches they're finding on the outside with CeeDee Lamb. He's doing a great job at game planning and throwing wrinkles every single week to keep defenses off balance. Now, on the defensive side of the ball that you mentioned, last year they couldn't stop running water in the running game.
We couldn't.
They could not stop anybody. They did not control the trenches. Guess what? They're 5th in rush defense this year. They're 2nd in takeaways. You want to have your offense be explosive and score points? Take the football away and give them multiple opportunities. They've had 2 takeaways in each of their games that they played, which means they're giving their offense, who was very explosive, a lot of opportunities. And let's not forget to mention Dak. A lot of people had a lot to say about Dak and where is he going to be the same? Is he going to be better? Is he going to be ready for the season? Everybody, quiet.
He's back.
Dak is on the MVP race right now. He is balling. So
Well,
give him his props.
You remember those MVP chants for him last year right around this time before he got hurt in Week 5? Well, after last night, Dak's passer rating is 17 points higher now than it was back then. So, yeah.
Be afraid.
There it is. Exactly.
Be afraid. Be very afraid of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, right now this team is hitting on all cylinders. They've got a schedule that, you know, the worst games you have left on the schedule are the Cardinals and Kansas City. That's not to say that anybody can't beat you, because anybody can. But from the standpoint of looking at the worst games and teams of the season, you've gotten a bunch of those already out of the way. You've been dominating your division, and the rest of your division just looks bad. So with that being said, I got to get out here and get to work for my day job. You know how we roll. Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you later.